Listen carefully. Strength isn't something you stumble into. It's something you forge, deliberately, painfully, repeatedly. Your mind is a muscle, and most people let it rot from comfort, distraction, and weakness. But you, if you're here, you're not most people. You're someone who knows that pressure is the sculptor, and discipline is the blade. Machiavelli understood one truth that society hides from you. The world respects the person who can command himself. When you train your mind like a weapon, people feel it. Your presence sharpens, your silence grows heavier, and your decisions become undeniable. You stop reacting, you start directing. But this transformation demands war, not with others, with yourself. The undisciplined version of you will fight back. It will beg for comfort. It will whisper excuses. Crush it. Every time you say no to weakness, your power grows. Every time you push yourself when no one's watching, your future shifts. Right now, say it in the comments. I train my mind like a weapon. Because this is the first law of success. Command yourself, or be commanded by life. This is Mental Fort, where the weak break and the strong rebuild. Part 1. Dash. You want power? Then understand this. The mind is the first battlefield, and most people lose before the fight even begins. They let emotions drag them, temptations weaken them, and fear cage them. But not you. Not anymore. You're here because something inside you refuses to stay ordinary. Something inside you is waking up. You must train your mind the same way a warrior trains his body, through resistance, repetition, and ruthless honesty. Machiavelli taught that the one who can command himself becomes untouchable, and that's your path now. When you harden the mind, the world stops feeling overwhelming. It starts feeling predictable, controllable, bendable. Every day, challenge yourself. Sit with discomfort until it submits. Choose discipline even when it burns. Push your thoughts into silence, into clarity, into precision. Most people drown in their mind. You're learning to breathe under pressure. Most people chase motivation. You're building something stronger. Inner rule, the cold psychology of self-mastery. People will notice the shift. They won't know what changed, but they'll feel it. Your presence will get heavier. Your decisions sharper. Your energy calmer, colder, more calculated. That is the aura of someone who no longer negotiates with weakness. Say it in the comments to seal it. I command my mind. Because if you don't rule your mind will rule you, dragging you into fear, distraction, and self-betrayal. You're done with that version of yourself. That version dies today. This is Mental Fort. And here, we build men with unshakable minds and unbreakable will. Comment your phrase below and prepare yourself. Part 2 begins when you're ready to dominate. Part 2. Dash. Power doesn't come from wishing for a better life. It comes from breaking the barriers inside your own mind. Every day you're handed two choices: obey your weakness or command it. And the truth is brutally simple. Most people obey. They let laziness whisper, let fear negotiate, let excuses flood their decisions. But you are stepping into a different league. You are choosing the path where the mind is sharpened like steel against stone. The second law of success is this: the man who disciplines his thoughts controls his fate. When you learn to direct your mind with intention, you start forcing life to respond to you instead of stumbling through it. Your priorities align, your focus narrows, your energy stops leaking into worthless distractions. You transform from reactive to strategic, from emotional to calculating, from uncertain to undeniable. This is where Machiavellian psychology becomes a weapon. You must understand that emotions are tools, not masters. Use them when they serve your purpose. Silence them when they sabotage your rise. Cold clarity is what separates the powerful from the powerless. When you detach from impulses, you see moves others can't. You start predicting outcomes, reading people, navigating chaos with precision. You become the calm force in a world of frantic noise. Push yourself into this state daily. Wake up with intention. Act with purpose. Train your thoughts the same way a strategist trains for war. Anticipate, adapt, advance. Don't wait for motivation. Build systems that force discipline. Build routines that strengthen focus. Build a mindset that refuses to collapse. Every quiet victory in your mind becomes a visible victory in your life. Say it in the comments to anchor it. I rise through discipline. Let that be your declaration of growth, your signature of inner power. Because the man who rises through discipline cannot be broken. He can be challenged, resisted, doubted, but never defeated. Remember this: pressure is not your enemy. It is your sculptor. The more you endure, the more defined you become. The world does not give power freely. It tests those who dare to claim it. And you are proving, step by step, that you are worthy of that power. Stay relentless. This is mental fort, and your transformation is not a hope, it's a command. Push yourself further, shape your mind harder, move toward the life that bends under your will. Part 3 begins next. Part 3. There comes a point in every man's life where he must decide who he is going to become, the sculptor of his destiny or the victim of his impulses. Most choose the second path because it's easier. It requires nothing but surrender. Surrender to distractions, surrender to emotions, surrender to weakness. But you are being carved into something different. You're beginning to understand that the mind must be trained with the same intensity as the body, perhaps even more, because when the mind breaks, everything collapses. But when the mind strengthens, everything rises. The third law of success is this: your mind becomes what you repeatedly force it to face. If you force it to face comfort, it becomes soft. If you force it to face challenges, it becomes sharp. And if you force it to face fear, eventually it becomes fearless. People look for shortcuts, missing the truth Machiavelli already understood. Power belongs to the one who can endure reality without flinching, the one who can stand in uncertainty, in criticism, in solitude, and not crumble. That is the state you are building now: a colder mind, a calmer presence, a clearer inner voice. You are stripping away the emotional noise that once controlled you. The world tries to provoke you, distract you, define you, but you're learning to observe instead of absorb, to calculate instead of react, to wait instead of rush. This isn't numbness, this is mastery. Emotional control is not about feeling nothing. It's about deciding which emotions deserve to live in you and which must be executed on sight. You push yourself because you understand the truth. A stronger mind creates a stronger life. A weaker mind creates excuses, chaos, failure. That's why every challenge you face is not an obstacle, it's a training ground. Every difficult task, every moment of pressure, every situation that tests your patience is shaping your mental armor. You're not just surviving pressure, you're learning to use it. You're turning resistance into discipline and discipline into power. Say it in the comments to mark this mental shift. My mind obeys me. Write it with conviction, because the world listens differently to a man whose thoughts serve his ambition instead of sabotaging it. People around you will start noticing changes they can't describe. Your silence becomes more intentional. Your energy becomes more controlled. Your eyes show purpose instead of confusion. Your presence signals someone who knows exactly where he's going. That's the psychological signature of a man who is no longer driven by impulse. A man who is self-governing. A man who is dangerous because he is disciplined. Keep pushing, keep sharpening, keep mastering the unseen battlefield within you, because the one who trains his mind becomes immune to manipulation, resistant to chaos, and untouchable by mediocrity. Part 4. There's a moment in your evolution when the world stops being the opponent and your own mind becomes the true enemy. Most men never reach this realization. They spend their lives fighting shadows, blaming circumstances, pointing fingers at everything except the one thing they can actually control, their inner machinery. But you're past that stage now. You've stepped into a higher arena where self-mastery is the only currency and every thought is either building you or breaking you. This is where real power is forged, and this is where the average man collapses. Not you, not anymore. The fourth law of success is this: master the narrative inside your head, or someone else will write it for you. Society, fear, weakness, they all try to program you. They whisper limits and doubts, feed you comfort, push you toward the easy path. But you are rewriting the script. You are refusing the identity handed to you. You are crafting yourself with intention, precision, and cold strategy. The mind you are building now is not casual, it is deliberate, it is structured. It listens to you, not the world. Understand this deeply. The man who governs his inner voice becomes unstoppable, because once your mind stops resisting you, nothing outside can defeat you. Your focus becomes razor sharp. Your discipline becomes non-negotiable. Your ambition becomes louder than your excuses. You begin operating with a kind of mental silence that terrifies the undisciplined. A stillness that makes your presence feel heavier. A clarity that turns your every move into strategy. But this power requires pressure, continuous, intentional pressure. You must confront your own patterns. You must challenge the thoughts that weaken you. You must push yourself past the point where comfort tries to drag you back. Growth isn't supposed to feel gentle. It's supposed to demand sacrifice. And yet, with every sacrifice, you level up. With every moment of discipline, you evolve. With every act of inner control, you become more dangerous, more focused, more untouchable. Say it in the comments to anchor this truth. I rewrite my mind, because that's exactly what you're doing. Taking full authorship of your identity, your decisions, and your destiny. As you strengthen this inner command, people will sense it without understanding it. They'll feel your presence before you speak. They'll sense your boundaries without you explaining them. They'll realize you are no longer influenced by noise, temptation, or external validation. That is the aura of a man who rules himself. That is the power of psychological sovereignty. Keep pushing, keep rewriting, keep rising. The man you're becoming is someone the world cannot manipulate, cannot predict, cannot break. Part 5. There is a stage in your evolution where you stop waiting for life to hand you opportunities and begin manufacturing them through sheer force of will. Most men never reach this level. They drown in excuses, sink in distractions, and cling to comfort as if it were salvation. But you have stepped beyond that threshold. You are beginning to recognize a deeper truth. The person who controls his internal world eventually controls his external world. That is the foundation of real power, and that is where your transformation accelerates. You are no longer hoping to rise. You are preparing to rise with intention. The fifth law of success is this: engineer your environment to match the identity you are becoming. The mind adapts to whatever surrounds it, and if your surroundings are chaotic, weak, or directionless, your thoughts will mirror that chaos. You must sculpt your environment with the precision of a strategist. Remove temptation, remove noise, remove people who drain your resolve. Build a space that enforces your discipline rather than sabotaging it. When your environment aligns with your ambitions, your mind begins to operate with a different frequency, focused, calm, and unbreakable. This is where dark psychology becomes a tool rather than a threat. Understand how easily the average mind is influenced. Understand how predictably people collapse under pressure. Understand that external noise shapes internal weakness, unless you choose otherwise. Machiavelli taught that a ruler must control the conditions in which he operates, and you are becoming the ruler of your own life. By reducing noise, you strengthen clarity. By restricting access, you amplify focus. By controlling your conditions, you gain a psychological edge that most people never experience. Push yourself to create systems that reflect your future, not your past. Wake up in a space that demands discipline. Work in an environment that sharpens your thoughts. End your day in reflection rather than distraction. Make your habits heavy, intentional, and unavoidable. This isn't about perfection, it's about alignment. When your daily structure supports your ambition, your rise becomes inevitable. Say it in the comments. I build my conditions. Anchor that identity with every action you take. People will sense the transformation long before they understand it. They'll see your silence becoming more purposeful, your presence becoming more grounded, your decisions becoming more calculated. They will wonder how you changed so quickly, but you'll know the truth. You designed the environment that manufactured your ascent. Understand something deeper. The environment you tolerate becomes the standard you live by. If you tolerate clutter, your mind becomes cluttered. If you tolerate undisciplined people, your goals become diluted. If you tolerate noise, your purpose becomes faint. But when you raise your standards, everything around you must evolve or fall away. That is how powerful men rise, by refusing to coexist with anything that weakens their inner command. And every time you enforce this standard, your mind grows sharper. Keep enforcing this truth daily, relentlessly, always. Part 6. There comes a moment in every disciplined man's rise where he realizes something powerful. Growth is no longer about effort alone, it becomes about strategy. Most men grind without direction, pushing themselves blindly and wondering why nothing changes. But you are stepping into a new tier of self-mastery. You're beginning to understand that the mind doesn't only need pressure, it needs intelligent pressure, calculated pressure, pressure applied with purpose, not desperation. This is where your transformation sharpens into something dangerous, something rare, something unmistakably powerful. The sixth law of success is this: train your mind to bend under your command, not under emotion or impulse. This is where you stop being a passenger in your own head and become the architect. Every time you push yourself on purpose, not out of panic, not out of insecurity, but out of intention, you upgrade your mental operating system. You teach your mind that discomfort is chosen, not feared. You teach it that discipline is normal, not temporary. You teach it that pressure is your territory, not your enemy. Understand something most men never will. Consistency is not built through feelings. Feelings are unstable, unreliable, and easily manipulated. If your discipline depends on how you feel, you will always fall. Machiavelli knew this truth well. Power belongs to the one who can detach from emotion long enough to act with clarity. This coldness is not cruelty, it is control. It is the ability to do what must be done when the weaker version of you would collapse. Every task you avoid is a battlefield. Every moment of procrastination is a negotiation with weakness. But every time you choose action over excuses, you reshape your identity. You stop telling yourself who you want to be and start proving who you are becoming. That proof builds psychological momentum. And momentum, once created, is almost impossible to stop. This is where dark psychology becomes an advantage, not over others, but over yourself. You must learn to manipulate your own patterns, trick your mind into discipline, use your habits as traps for success. If you struggle to focus, remove options. If you struggle to stay consistent, lower the friction. If you struggle with distraction, eliminate access. You are not trying to be strong all the time. You are designing a life where weakness has no room to breathe. Say it in the comments to seal this shift. I control my momentum. Because once momentum bends in your direction, your rise becomes inevitable. People around you will sense the evolution. They will feel your inner gravity pulling away from chaos and toward purpose. Your silence will no longer signal uncertainty. It will signal calculation. Your decisions will no longer be reactions. They will be moves, strategic, deliberate, and unshakably aligned with the man you are building. And this change won't require you to announce anything. Power is felt, not spoken. Think of who you were before this journey. The version of you that hesitated, that doubted, that waited for the right time. That version is fading now. Your actions are carving a new identity, one choice at a time. You are teaching your mind that discipline is inevitable, that success is engineered, that power is earned through repetition in silence. Remember this: the man who controls his internal momentum eventually controls his external reality. Opportunities appear for the disciplined, respect follows the focused, results obey the relentless, and you are becoming all three. Part 7. There is a turning point in a man's evolution where he no longer looks at discipline as a burden, but as a weapon. Most men never reach this stage. They drag themselves through life, forcing temporary effort, collapsing under pressure, and wondering why their results stay mediocre. But you are crossing into a different arena, an arena where pressure becomes fuel, where self-control becomes instinct, and where the mind becomes a trained force rather than a chaotic storm. This is the point where you begin to see yourself not as who you were, but as who you are becoming. And that becoming is shaping into something formidable, something the world won't be able to ignore. The seventh law of success is this: you must train your mind to remain stable in situations that destroy others. power flows to the man who stays calm when everyone else panics. When the average person spirals, you gain clarity. When others react emotionally, you calculate. When they drown in uncertainty, you rise through decisiveness. This psychological advantage is not given, it is trained, earned, carved into your identity through repeated exposure to pressure. The more chaos you can stand without breaking, the more control you gain over every room, every situation, every outcome. Most men crumble because their minds have never been stress-tested. They avoid discomfort, run from conflict, hide from challenges, and because they avoid pressure, they stay fragile. But you are doing the opposite. You are walking into pressure intentionally. You are conditioning your mind to breathe in environments that suffocate the weak. You are teaching yourself to stay centered even when your emotions want to riot. That stability, cold, grounded, unshakable, is what separates the powerful from the powerless. Understand something profoundly important. Your emotional stability is a currency. Every time you remain composed, you gain advantage. Every time you refuse to react, you gain leverage. Every time you choose calm over chaos, clarity over panic, discipline over impulse, you gain power. Machiavelli knew that a leader who loses control of himself loses control of everything, and you are training yourself to never let that slip. You are building a mind that does not break under stress, but sharpens under it. This level of stability requires mental conditioning. You must expose yourself to discomfort on purpose. Push yourself to finish the tasks you hate. Practice silence when you want to argue. Sit in boredom without reaching for distractions. Confront your fears instead of avoiding them. These are not small acts, they are psychological drills. Every time you win a small internal battle, you increase your threshold for pressure. And the man with the highest pressure threshold becomes the man with the greatest influence. Say it in the comments right now. I stay calm under fire. This is not just a phrase, it is the identity you are forming. People will sense this stability in you. They will feel your presence shift. Your reactions will change. Your posture will solidify. Your eyes will reflect certainty instead of doubt. You will begin moving differently, slower, sharper, more deliberate. And people will respond to it without knowing why. They will trust you more, fear you more, respect you more. Because emotional stability is rare, and rarity is power. This new version of you becomes less reactive to noise, less attached to opinions, less dependent on validation. You won't need constant reassurance because you'll carry certainty internally. You won't chase approval because you'll approve of yourself. You won't collapse under pressure because you'll have trained your mind to view pressure as normal. This psychological shift is what turns a man from ordinary to unstoppable. Never forget this truth. The world cannot break a man who has already mastered breaking his own weaknesses. And you are proving every day that you are willing to fight the battles inside your mind before fighting the battles outside. That alone sets you apart from 99% of people. Your rise is not accidental, it's engineered, it's intentional, it's rooted in the inner stability you're cultivating right now. And as that stability grows, so will your influence, your discipline, your power, and your results. Part 8. There comes a phase in a man's evolution when he finally realizes that his mind is not just something he lives with, it is something he sculpts, something he engineers, something he weaponizes. Most people go through life with an untrained mind, tossed around by emotions, distractions, and other people's expectations. They react to everything, command nothing, and then wonder why their lives feel chaotic. But you're no longer living in that dimension. You're stepping into a higher psychological arena, one where the mind becomes a tool of power rather than a source of weakness. And when a man reaches this stage, he becomes dangerously capable, unpredictably focused, quietly unstoppable. The 8th law of success is this: train your mind to move with precision, not noise. Most men think strength is about force, but true strength is about accuracy. Accuracy in decisions, accuracy in emotions, accuracy in focus. The man who concentrates his mind on a single direction becomes unstoppable because his energy is no longer scattered across meaningless impulses. Machiavelli understood this deeply. Victory does not belong to the strongest, but to the most strategically disciplined. The man who knows when to act, when to wait, and when to strike becomes the man who controls outcomes rather than being controlled by them. This level of precision requires an internal sharpening process most people avoid. You must learn to separate what matters from what doesn't. Cut away noise, opinions, distractions, temptations, emotional chaos. The average person exhausts himself fighting battles that don't matter. You are choosing a different path. You are learning to save your energy for the battles that shape your destiny. This is psychological efficiency, the art of conserving mental firepower so you can unleash it when it truly counts. Every time you ignore a distraction, your mind sharpens. Every time you choose focus over comfort, you forge a new level of discipline. Every time you walk away from emotional noise, you gain clarity. Precision isn't about doing more, it's about doing less with greater intent. And when your actions are intentional, your results become inevitable. Understand this. The mind becomes powerful when it is directed, not scattered. When you focus on one mission, one identity, one direction, your entire internal world aligns itself with your ambition. This alignment is rare. Most men want everything and master nothing, but you are becoming a man who masters himself first, and through that mastery, gains influence over his world. Say it in the comments. My focus is my power. Anchor it within you. People around you will sense this sharpening even before you fully grasp it yourself. Your presence will gain weight. Your silence will feel strategic rather than empty. Your choices will feel deliberate rather than random. Even the way you walk, speak, and make decisions will shift. Precision creates confidence. Confidence creates dominance, and dominance, true dominance, begins within the mind long before it appears in the world. This transformation requires sacrifice. You must give up the version of yourself that needed constant stimulation. You must release the habits that diluted your focus. You must walk away from anything and anyone that fractures your direction. This isn't cruelty, it is evolution. You are refining your inner world so your outer world can expand. You are removing everything that weakens your mental edge. Because the man who focuses deeply becomes a man who attracts opportunities effortlessly. Life gravitates toward the disciplined. Now understand something deeper. When your mind becomes precise, people cannot manipulate you. Manipulation thrives on distraction, emotion, and mental chaos. But a focused mind sees through deception, resists psychological pressure, and navigates conflicts with cold clarity. Dark psychology becomes your shield rather than your threat. You start understanding motives, patterns, intentions, and you stay 3 moves ahead without ever showing your hand. The world becomes easier to read, easier to predict, easier to dominate, because the man who controls his focus controls his fate. Look at who you're becoming. You're no longer someone who reacts to life. You're someone who directs it. You're no longer driven by feelings. You're driven by purpose. You're no longer pulled by impulses. You're pulled by mission. This mental transformation doesn't just change your thoughts, it changes your destiny. But remember this, precision must be reinforced daily. You must protect your focus like a king protects his crown. You must guard your mind from the weak habits that once owned you. You must continue sharpening, refining, eliminating, mastering, because the man who has mastered his mind becomes untouchable. Part 9. You've come this far for one reason. Something inside you refused to stay weak. Something inside you refused to let life shape you into another ordinary, distracted, emotionally fragile man. And now you stand at the edge of a new identity, one built through pressure, discipline, precision, and unshakable psychological command. This final stage isn't the end of your journey. It's the beginning of a new standard. A standard where your mind operates on principles that most people never develop. A standard where your focus is weaponized, your discipline is instinctive, and your presence carries the weight of a man who cannot be manipulated, controlled, or broken. The 10th law of success is this: power is maintained through ruthless consistency and internal sovereignty. You've trained your mind through challenge, pressure, silence, and strategic discomfort. Now, you must guard that strength with the same intensity you used to build it. The greatest mistake powerful men make is believing their mind will stay sharp without ongoing training. It won't. Strength that isn't maintained decays. Clarity that isn't protected fades. Discipline that isn't reinforced collapses. You must continue sharpening yourself daily, not out of fear, but out of purpose. Every day you must choose the identity you've built, the calm strategist, the disciplined force, the emotionally untouchable version of yourself who makes decisions with cold clarity and relentless focus. The world will try to provoke you, distract you, test your resolve, but you will remain centered. Because you now understand the truth, no external chaos can break a man who governs his internal world. You've learned to operate with intent instead of impulse, strategy instead of emotion, momentum instead of hesitation. Say it in the comments one last time to anchor this transformation. My mind is my fortress. You must also recognize that your rise will unsettle people. Some will admire you, some will fear you. Many will not understand how you changed so quickly. That's because they didn't see the silent battles you fought. They didn't see the nights you trained your mind when motivation was dead. They didn't see the moments you chose discipline over comfort, truth over ego, clarity over emotion. Your evolution was internal first, long before it became visible. And that is why it is real. From this point forward, you must commit to living as the architect of your life, not the passenger. Every goal you pursue must align with your mission. Every habit you maintain must strengthen your direction. Every decision you make must reinforce the identity you've built. This is how powerful men maintain their edge, through constant refinement, constant clarity, and constant self-governance. And now, look at who you've become. A man with intention in his silence, strategy in his actions, and power in his presence. A man who has learned to push himself, train the mind like a muscle, and rise through the dark psychology of discipline, detachment, and control. You are no longer hoping to become strong, you are strong. And this strength will carry you through every challenge, every test, every opportunity life places before you.